Hey guys, my name is Alyssa Sokolowski, and I'm here with you today to discuss why the U.S. should not withdraw funding from the World Health Organization. So, as many of you know, in April 2020, President Trump announced that he'd be halting funding for the World Health Organization. Shortly following that, on May 29th of 2020, Trump declared the termination of all relationships with the World Health Organization. He did so by citing the alarming lack of independence from China, they failed to independently investigate credible reports that conflicted with Chinese government's official accounts and repeatedly made claims about COVID that were grossly inaccurate and misleading. So to begin with why all of this is kind of an issue, we should talk about the U.S. involvement in the World Health Organization and kind of what the World Health Organization itself is. The U.S. entered into the World Health Organization in 1948 after a joint resolution by both houses of Congress was passed, and it has been supported by successive administrations up until recently. The World Health Organization is a specialized agency within the United Nations that is responsible for public health. Through its role, it has played a leading part in many public health achievements, including the eradication of smallpox, the near eradication of polio, and the development of the Ebola vaccine. Historically, the United States has been the largest contributor to the World Health Organization and has played a role in many of its policies and implementation of the policies that the World Health Organization has created. One of the main issues for withdrawal from the World Health Organization would be the U.S.'s large entanglement with the World Health Organization itself. The Pan American Health Organization, which is one of 6 regional offices of the World Health Organization, is located within the United States in Washington, D.C. The U.S. is a state party to 2 of the World Health Organization treaties, the World Health Constitution itself, as well as the International Health Regulations. On top of all of that, the World Health collaborates with many of our health institutions within the United States. There are 21 collaborating World Health Organization centers in the CDC itself, as well as 3 at the National Institutes of Health, and there are 44 collaborating centers for nursing and midwifery in the United States. Along with the entanglement of the U.S. with the World Health Organization itself, withdrawal from the World Health Organization would put an extra burden on the U.S. health capacity. For most of its existence, the U.S. has cooperated with the World Health Organization and other states involved with the World Health Organization to advance medical achievements. One of the largest things is we create influenza vaccines for the upcoming flu season within the World Health Organization. To withdraw would cut us off from much of this research about what the influenza will look like as it approaches. It also cuts us off from access to the coronavirus information that the World Health Organization and the states involved have, putting us at a disadvantage in terms of vaccines and stuff like that. On top of all of that, withdrawal from the World Health Organization is deemed unlawful, period. It's a treaty that Congress entered into. It would take Congress approving our withdrawal to officially withdraw. And Trump saying that we are withdrawing has been cited by the Supreme Court as basically improperly using his power as president. On top of all that, we would still be responsible for our financial burden to the World Health Organization. So if we started to withdraw, if we said we're going to withdraw in 2020, our withdrawal would not be scheduled until July of 2021, which Biden has clearly overturned that. But we would have been responsible for our financial contributions to them as of 2020 and 2021. The main thing here is withdrawal from the World Health Organization lessens U.S. power. We want to be seen as the leader of the free world. We want to be seen as strong, promoting cooperation amongst the states, and pretty much what we've done by saying that we are going to withdraw from the World Health Organization because we didn't like the way they were taking China's side is basically the toddler throwing a big temper tantrum because they didn't get their way. As the world becomes more multipolar rather than unipolar, and the U.S. is no longer in charge or as powerful as it once was, we need cooperation with other states. And in all honesty, withdrawal doesn't promote cooperation actually reduces our chances of cooperation. Um, the World Health Organization, through all of their actions, has shown that it does need reform, but we kind of put ourselves in the position where we're in the outside looking in. We're not encouraging cooperation, we're demanding reform, but we aren't taking the driver's seat to help reform. We're just standing outside looking in hope it reforms and trying to find our own path, which isn't necessarily going to end well for us. We can't call for improvement if we're not there to help improve. Also, it decreases our influence on policy making. If we're not involved, we can't help create the policies that we want to be swayed in our way. We're just pretty much leaving it up to the other powers, and we're left in the back. It's also shown that to have impacts with our neighbors, our allies that we so strongly say that we're good with. We handled our coronavirus situation so poorly that Canada and Mexico both closed down our borders to us. So I would not say that withdrawing funding from the World Health Organization does anything to prompt our position in the world. Therefore, withdrawing due to its illegality and just lack of our appearance and power within the world would be detrimental. I appreciate everyone from listening, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.